Hey guys, thank you for joining me today on Godspot. I want to speak to you about reading power. In Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, it says, keep the book of the law always on your lips. Meditate, read on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you'll be prosperous and successful. God says, if you'll read my word, Joshua, it'll bring instruction, it'll bring wisdom, and it'll help you stay on a track of prosperity and success. And I believe that's something we all really want in our lives. It was President Harry S. Truman who said, not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. If you want to expand and you want to lead and have influence, it's necessary to read. So there are a number of benefits that come with reading. Number one, reading is good for your brain. Listen to this because I got to read this. Okay. Reading actually creates neurons in your brain through a process called neurogenesis. While reading, what your brain does, it connects abstract symbols like letters and words to thoughts and images, which leads to the information of quicker neural pathways between the parts of your brain associated with language development, memory, imagination, and sensory processing. When you read, it enlarges and engages your brain. That's a powerful thought right there. Number two, reading offers perspective, wisdom, and insight from the greatest minds and events of history. It was William Wordsworth who said, let us learn from the past to profit by the present, to live better in the future. History books are fantastic. I enjoy reading biographies on great leaders of the past. I enjoy reading about events that happened in the past. I've read about a Russian submarine that sunk and the investigation that went into there. I've read books on 9/11. I've read books about Napoleon Bonaparte. I've read books about General McCarthy. I've read books of World War II, the Vietnam War. I've read all sorts of books, and all these have helped bring wisdom for the present and the future, and they guide and direct you. Thirdly, reading increases empathy and opens our eyes to new perspectives and experiences and ideas. I like what George R.R. Martin said. He's the author of Game of Thrones. He said, a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one. There's something about reading that it changes you. When you read about other people's experience and ideas, you can engage that and apply that to your own life. I'll tell you, it's a fantastic journey to be on. Number four, reading teaches us to slow down. To read, you've got to discipline. You've got to put time aside. We live in a very fast-paced generation. We have social media all the time trying to engage us. We spend hours scrolling and reading social media. We have very little downtime when it comes to screen time. And so you've got to discipline yourself to read so that you can sit down. When you do that, you shut the door to your office, your bedroom, wherever you are. And when you start reading, it takes you into a new world, another world, and it can really change the way you think. Fifth and lastly, reading should be fun. I really hate to say it, but I think it's necessary in our day and age, is not everything you read has to be important or relevant. You should be able to pick up something and just read it for the fun of reading and enjoy it. And sometimes biographies are like that, and there are fictional books you can just read. I love reading action, adventure style books. And I like reading it when they bring history into it as well. It's a lot of fun. So in my own life, I like to read. I read my Bible every day. I read a chapter or two every day. I read a chapter out of a self-development book every day. And I like to read articles on leadership as well. And I do watch TED Talks. But what I do like as well is going to bed at night, picking up a fictional book and reading it just for the fun of it. Sometimes it keeps me awake till late hours of the night. Other times it helps me sleep. Either way, it's a great discipline. So my challenge to you today is stop scrolling, stop watching, and start reading. If this challenges you, hit the like button and share it with someone else. Thanks for listening.